and welcome back to Calmsden Farms. It is very early in the morning. We are in May. The silage has fermented and Scott has come to help us deliver it to the biogas plant. So I am just making sure the lorry is loaded up. I think that's about it. So I'll just park this up here. I am going to go with Scott just to help make the delivery and everything. So let's hop in. That does indeed look very full. So it's probably a good opportunity to have a chat about where Robert and Julie are at financially, because things were a bit up in the air at the end of the last episode. So they had £226,319, having had some work done in the secret field, which cost £6,000 for some new kind of planter beds to be put in. There was also a little incident. Alex was bringing the slurry tanker back from a contract he'd been doing, and one of the local motorists decided to try and overtake him on a narrow lane, and things didn't end well, mostly for the motorist. But unfortunately the slurry tanker got written off. The insurance company just said no, that's a goner. So that has been written off. The insurance have paid out and paid for the majority of a new one, but to just get sort of the equivalent, Robert and Julie have had to put £20,000 towards that. It is, for all intents and purposes, the same capacity, the same spread width. It just is a different manufacturer, so it's silver rather than black, and it's a slightly different colour. That's the only difference. I think it might be marginally different on the power it requires. It does, however, also give us an issue with the New Holland, the T6, which Alex was driving at the time. That is currently in the workshop being repaired. So we have been loaned a courtesy tractor, if you like, for us to use on the farm in the meantime. It's a little bit different because it's methane powered, so we're also going to be doing a bit of testing and just seeing what it's like running a methane powered tractor. So yeah, all very, very interesting. Be great fun. I will show you the new kit once we get back over to the farm, but for now we are just arriving at the biogas plant. So we are going to drop off this load of silage. We already have 100,000 litres of silage in storage. Well, we have more. I've saved an additional 100,000 litres from the bunker silo, so that's already there, ready, saved up to go. And I'd imagine we'll get a good at least half of what's in that bunga silo will be sold here. We might hang on to the rest. It's all going to depend on how we're doing. This isn't going to tip here, is it? I'm going to have to... We might have to go and get something to move this in. Hang on. Let me just nip. I'll just go and find the foreman and have a chat with him and see what he says we need to do. And I quote from the foreman. The ramp's being put in next week. We've got a front loader you can borrow. Either tip it carefully out of the truck or just dump it all on the floor and scoop it in. So I guess that's what I'll get doing. I'll just signal to Scott to reverse it up, dump it here, and away we go. Okie dokie, so Scott's truck is all loaded up and ready to go again. Robert is going to head down there with him this time, just to do the whole unloading thing. We're then going to wait for a little while until the ramp has been installed and it's a bit easier just to do a simple unload into the chamber. This is the Landini we have been loaned by the accident repair company. So, yeah, it's a nice little tractor. As I said, it's had a methane conversion to it, so it runs on methane gas rather than petrol. Still sounds very much like it's turning over as a petrol engine. It's got these really cool tyres on it as well. I'm quite impressed by the tyres. Yeah, they're really nice. And it's come with a front loader mounted to it. It's just really, really awkward to take off. It's not like a quick release one. So yeah, that's sort of just stuck on there. It works and everything. You can get some with the quick release where you can just drop them off, but this one's just sort of stuck on here, so we're not going to complain. We've got a tractor to replace the one that's being repaired for the time being. But yeah, I'm interested to see with the methane usage how it goes and how much it costs to top it up once we're done running around with it. Right. My next job is I'm going to pick up the McCormick, which is just down the track here, and head out to one of the fields where we've been doing some mowing. So, the field... Where is it? Let's just take a quick wander. So this is our canola field. This is coming up really nicely. The field just directly in front of us, just over there. And the little one just behind the wall in the distance over there. Both of those were mowed absolute first thing this morning. Like we're talking as the sun came up. We got them tedded and we got them dried out into hay. Because one of our neighbours was in desperate need of hay for some animal feed. So we did a rush job for them on a contract. So that work has or will be paying out, about £50,000, which isn't bad. So, yes, to speed us along with doing that, we had a little bit of outgoing. And I think now's probably the good time to jump cut to me arriving at the field in the McCormick, and you will see what we've had to spend some money on. Okay, so first and foremost, we've obviously had to spend money on leasing a loading wagon. Again, unfortunately, that's just gonna be the case until we can get the rest of the loan paid off. We have also leased this. This is a Krone Big M mower. So it's a triple mowing setup. At the moment, we've only got a front mower and a side mower. So it just meant that we could mow things a lot more quickly. And we've also fitted a tedder to the back. So that drives across, boom, you've got hay. Straight away. And then it's just a matter of coming and collecting it in the loading wagon. So, we're now going to get on. We've got these 2 fields to mow, to collect some hay for us. We also, because we'd leased the Big M, we have a couple of hay contracts that we've taken out. So, again, there's going to be some contracting work just to make the most of having leased this. This has cost us 15,000, I think, to lease, and the loading wagon was 5,000. So overall, that's 20,000. But actually, with that one £50,000 contract for providing hay from our 2 fields, we've already made the money back for this. And we'll just take advantage of using it while we've got it. Right. I'm waiting for Alex to come and join me. And then we will get him going on probably running the mower tedder setup. But in the meantime, I'll just get going running this, and then I'll hop out and do the loading wagon bit. But figured I probably won't show you that bit because you've seen me do a loading wagon on here before anyway. But this whole tedding bit with a Krone Big M nonetheless, that's new and exciting. The loan for Robert and Julie, by the way, is down to 500,000 now. They paid off 100,000 with the income from last month. It was just with all the accident and everything that happened, they just decided to call it at 100,000 rather than the 150 that they were thinking they might do. With the silage income, my hope is that we can significantly cut into that loan again today, but we will see how everything pays out and how the day pans out. Hello. Well, it's been a fairly busy day of contract work and making sure all of the hay gets delivered successfully back to the farm. I'm just doing a few last minute jobs for our greenhouses, and I've brought over that leased Landini with the front loader because to me that makes more sense than constantly bringing over the JCB. If we could look at getting a front-loaded tractor for our farm, well, for us. So what I've done is I've done a bit of work on these greenhouses and I've upgraded them so that they now, rather than, you know, just putting water into them, we can put fertiliser into them as well. And we're also going to keep them topped up with seed. So I've just nipped down, grabbed some pallets from the store, and we're gonna use these, except this is latching on to the trailer, I think. Can we get that off? Okay. I'll get the seeds in a bit. We'll get the fertiliser now. Going to bring this through, and there we go, just sort of pop it there. And then what I'll do is I'll grab the bag and go for the other one, and then we've got a bit of tidying up around the farm to do, around the yard to do as well. Ooh. I've got to admit that's normally why I bring the telehandler. It's a bit better seated weight-wise. Right, let's keep going with this. The telehandler has been over with a load of manure, so these are stacked up with manure as well as solid nitrogen fertiliser. So they are going to produce like the clappers. Let me just see if I can do something to get those seed pallets so that they're not going to catch the trailer. There we go, we've managed to make that work. It's swinging a bit. There we go, let's get some seeds in. And keep that going, and let's grab this as well and get this in the other one, and then we've got some tidying up to do. I think we've got some olives and some grapes as well. We are building up quite a stash of grapes here. Obviously the olives are going into the oil mill, so I'm wondering whether we maybe get a grape processing plant and we look at putting the grapes through that as a kind of our next production facility. We're not doing too badly on finances at the moment. We are sat at, well, we were sat at 126,000. We're now down at 113,000 after the purchase of the fertiliser and the seeds for the greenhouses, and also the upgrades themselves to the greenhouses. Okay, let's just pop this one out over here. Go and get the olives, and we're going to drop the olives through to the olive mill. that's not lined up at all well. And I'm crashing into the corner of the greenhouse, that's probably why it's not working. Let's bring that over the top there. That's it. Right. Go and shoot this over. We'll just do one at a time, I think, because the swing on this is quite excessive. So it's been quite a good day, contracting wise, and also from the sale of the silage. So Robert and Julie have taken in £88,520, and that is still going up because of the processing speed of the biogas plant. So, as it stands, 88,520. That will probably have got bigger by the time we next talk. In contracts, because of the big delivery of hay and also the working the farmer's field of hay, it's 79,169. There's a pallet of grapes there that I didn't see. Whoops. I'm focusing on the finance notes too much, clearly. So that brought the income up to 268,000. Obviously there was about 20,000 of leased equipment because we had to lease the forage wagon and the Chrome Big M. We didn't have to, but that's made this happen. So that's brought it down a little bit. Robert and Julie have then taken the decision to pay £150,000 from the loan to lower the amount that they've got. So the loan currently stands at 350,000. It's really coming down quite nicely. And so the farm budget stands at 98,000. I can match these two up nicely. We might be able to get two of them on here together. Oh yes, there we go. But I don't think the Landini's gonna take that. Right. It'll work. It's a little bit draggy on the ground, but it's gonna work. It's only going over here for now. And there we go. You will fit in, please fit in. There we go. Right. I'm going to leave those there for now because space is getting a bit tight in here. We've got loads of furniture pallets waiting to be sold. I think there's two more set out there that I'll need to bring in actually. Canola oil we're doing very well for. Sunflower oil, well we did just do a lot of selling of that, so there's not going to be as much of that. Tomatoes, obviously we're coming into summer now, so tomatoes, strawberries, lettuce production is probably going to go absolutely through the roof. Come on, squeeze out, squeeze out, squeeze out. There we go. Yes. Oh, I know what I do need to go and show you very quickly. Let's drive near here and then we can shoot through the gap in the fence. It's a gap in the fence. It's not really a gap in the fence. We're sort of diving through the undergrowth. There we go. So this is our sorghum, which is coming up quite nicely. This is some oilseed radish, which we planted just as a kind of cover crop for the animals to have something for them. And these are the flower beds that we've gone with. So they are open air flower beds. we have got some covers for winter for them, because we will keep them producing fruit through the winter. But yes, they are basically the exact same production as our sort of normal greenhouses. Tomatoes, lettuce and strawberries. So several of them, so there you go, there's some crop quite nicely in bloom on this one. And we've already got some strawberries sat ready to go. There we go. So this is going to be a great little revenue runner for the farm. Depending on how much the production chain is that we're going to go for, I think we are going to go with the great production. So before next month we will have that built. I'm also thinking if there's enough money, I might get a little beehive in here to kind of supplement what Robert and Julie are doing with this area. But then that will allow me to kind of keep an eye on the bees since I'm down here anyway. Oh, some deer down there. Don't want to startle them too much. But yes, if we get some bees and some honey production, then that will greatly help us in our kind of quest to complete production chains. Right, I think this is probably it for this month. So I will definitely see you in June. Thank you so much for watching. Please do jump on the like button, share this video with your friends, and get subscribed to the channel if you're not already subscribed. But most importantly of all, have a great day.